The story of the LK drama didn't begin with chaos. It didn't begin with hatred or conflict or anything close to the scale it eventually reached. It began with something so small, so ordinary that nobody could have predicted what it would turn into. It began with a joke. A simple, harmless joke from Lil K, the kind of thing that gets thrown around in every gaming group, every SMP, every Discord call. It wasn't meant to hurt anyone. It wasn't meant to target anyone. It wasn't meant to be anything more than a moment of banter between friends. But that moment became the spark that lit the fuse. When the ban hit LK, he didn't even know how to react. He didn't argue, he didn't defend himself, he didn't send long explanations or try to justify anything. In his mind, he had done nothing wrong. He was shocked, confused, and honestly stunned that something so small had turned into something so serious. He didn't fight it because he didn't believe there was anything to fight. To him, it was a misunderstanding, one that would surely be cleared up quickly. But it wasn't. At the same time, Totally Fearsome found himself pulled into the situation without doing anything at all. He hadn't made the joke. He hadn't been part of the conversation. He hadn't even been involved in the moment that triggered the ban. And yet, he was banned alongside the others. It would have been easy for him to get angry, to lash out, to blame people, to escalate the situation. But he didn't. Instead, he did the opposite. He stayed calm, he stayed level-headed, and he started trying to fix things. While others were confused or frustrated, he stepped into the role of mediator. He talked to people. He reached out. He tried to understand what had happened. And slowly, he worked to get players like Slimes, 6-7 Bob, Seabass, and Nolan unbanned. He wasn't choosing sides. He wasn't stirring drama. He was trying to repair something that had broken before anyone even realized it was fragile. Then came the evidence. Diego released a screenshot, one he later deleted, claiming it proved cyberbullying. The entire piece of evidence was a message where LK called Totally Fearsome a skibidi sigma, a meme insult, a joke. Something that in any other context would have been brushed off instantly, but Diego presented it as if it were serious harassment. And that's when people started to realize something wasn't lining up. Because if that was the worst thing anyone said, why were people being banned? Why was the punishment so severe? Why were people who weren't involved being dragged into it? Why was a meme being treated like a threat? And why out of everyone was LK the only one who stayed banned? Slimes, for example, wasn't even deeply involved. He was just messing around, joking like he always does. But Diego didn't like how close he and LK were. Their friendship, their chemistry, the way they played together. So it bothered him. And around that time, Diego almost quit YouTube entirely. The pressure, the drama, the feeling of losing control. It all hit him at once, and instead of talking about it, instead of explaining how overwhelmed he felt, he reacted emotionally. From the outside, the situation looked completely unbalanced. LK made a joke, banned. Totally Fearsome did nothing, banned. Slimes barely involved, banned. The only evidence, a meme insult. And yet the consequences were huge. When the situation finally calmed down, most of the players were unbanned. But not LK. The one who made the joke. The one who didn't defend himself because he didn't think he needed to. The one who happened to be very close to Slimes and very good at the game. That's when the community started asking the real questions. Was this really about cyberbullying? Or was it about feelings? Was it about safety? Or was it about pride? Was it about protecting the community? Or was it about Diego feeling threatened, overwhelmed, and outperformed? Because the truth is, nobody in this situation was trying to hurt anyone. LK thought he was joking. Totally Fearsome was trying to help. Slimes was just being himself. And Diego felt attacked, even if nobody meant to attack him. But the story doesn't end there. Because something happened that nobody expected. After getting himself unbanned, Totally Fearsome didn't stop.
He didn't walk away. He didn't hold grudges.
He didn't pick sides. He kept trying to fix things. And eventually he did something that changed everything. He got Diego and LK to talk. For the first time since the drama began, they sat down and actually spoke to each other. Not through accusations, not through bans, not through screenshots, through conversation, through honesty, through the kind of communication that could have prevented the entire situation if it had happened earlier. And slowly the tension started to fade. The misunderstandings started to clear. The emotions started to settle. And the people involved started to see each other as human again, not as enemies, not as threats, not as villains. Then something even more unexpected happened. They made a video together. After everything, the bans, the accusations, the deleted evidence, the confusion, the hurt feelings, they ended up collaborating again, not because the past didn't matter, but because they chose to move forward anyway. Because they realized that the drama had grown bigger than it ever needed to be. Because they understood that communication, not conflict, was the way out. The LK drama didn't end with a fight. It ended with a conversation. It ended with understanding. It ended with people choosing to rebuild instead of divide.
And maybe that's the real message of this entire story.
Not that jokes can cause chaos. Not that misunderstandings can spiral. Not that emotions can cloud judgment, but that even when things fall apart, they can be repaired. Even when people clash, they can reconcile. Even when a community breaks, it can come back stronger. The story of the LK drama isn't a story of enemies. It's a story of miscommunication. A story of emotion. A story of people who cared, maybe too much, and didn't know how to handle it. A story of mistakes, yes, but also of growth. A story of conflict, but also of healing. A story that began with a joke and ended with a video. And maybe that's the best ending anyone could have hoped for.